Well, hey everybody, it is Romania Black, and so these last couple weeks of March Comes In Like a Lion have been, they have been a really, really powerful introspective look into Rei and Hina's developing relationship, and I have been here for it. Like episode 25 being like that, oh, I don't know where this is going. 26 was a sob fest, and last week was like picking up the pieces and trying to figure out, okay, what do we do to help Hina? And Rei hasn't come to any specific conclusions as to what to do yet, but I love the development with Rei's character of him trying to like become a better friend, being there for Hina. I love his relationship with the sisters, with Akari last episode and having the conversation with her. Like it's just been really, really nice to watch and see develop, and I've really, really enjoyed it. And honestly, if I had started out season 2 of this series, because we started out episode 23 season 2, and this is 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. This is the 6th episode of the second season. I had no idea we were going on this journey. So it's been really, really good to see and really fun to kind of break down and watch as it's all developed. So that's been a lot of fun. Anyway, so I'm super excited to see what we get. I'm really excited about it. I hope you all are as well. The only thing I wanted to make note of, everybody's comments have been super fun. I've enjoyed reading them. I've really enjoyed talking about these last couple of episodes with everyone. Obviously, if any major things stick out that I hadn't thought of, I'll be mentioning them in the comments. But I did want to make note that I went back and rewatched as I was editing the last episode. And the scene with Rei and Akari when they were making dinner, I didn't talk about in the discussion, and it's the most obvious throwaway thing, but it made me mad that I didn't realize it. I was like, oh, Rei is cutting up the onions for the dinner. We're talking about Akari and Rei and their characters and more layers of their characters being revealed. It's literally peeling the onion and all of the layers. It makes me think of Shrek, where it's like ogres have layers. Shogi players have layers. That's literally what that episode, is a big metaphor in that whole dinner scene for the layers of Akari's relationship as a sister, as a pseudo mother, as a friend, like all of Akari's struggles kind of being talked about in that one moment. So I thought that was really, really good. So yeah. I was like, damn, okay. All right. But I really, really appreciated that. So super excited to see what we get with that. So in any case, I'm really excited to see what we get this week in this episode, but I hope you all are excited as well. So before we get started, though, I want to obviously give a really huge shout out over to Patreon to thank the people that are supporting me over on Patreon. Obviously, without you all, I wouldn't be able to watch this show or keep this channel up, so thank you so much for doing that. But a very quick shout out to those on the philanthropy tier over on Patreon as well. So that includes Alex Cornejo, Anime Annie, Be Happy, Bryant Reed, as well as Dana, Danny Donmai, Daverin, Destiny Marie, Danger Zone, Damage 3245, as well as Eric, Ichu, Fisho, Ghostly Turnip, Ivan, El Freya, Linden, Matthew Palfiniere, Murphy, Nameless Monster, Nicholas, I almost wanted to combine those together, No Nickname, Sunspots, Shimoyama, Trails, and Translucent Men. Thank you so much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. To you and all of those on Patreon and YouTube as well, all of my love. So yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know at this point. We've had 25, 26, 27. We have 3 episodes that have kind of discussed this plot point, and I feel like it's going to be a plot point that the manga and the series as a whole has introduced that's going to keep on carrying throughout the series, because it's exposing a new side of Rei, and it's allowing character growth for Rei, which I think is super, super important. So who knows, but I don't know if we're going to, Rei's got a lot of things that I assume this season is going to focus on, mainly the newcomer battle and his matches to up his rank. We know he's lost 1 match so far, and he almost made to the semifinals for 1 tournament. So we'll see if he does that with another, but I'm really excited to see what we get this episode. I've not minded going through the Rei and Hina journey because it's gave some really, really good drama and some really good character moments. So no qualms from me. But anyway, we're going to start episode 28 of March Comes In Like a Lion. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's ago. Oh, we didn't start out with the OP. We're going to go back to this. And he acknowledged that she was his savior. It feels like such a knight on a shining horse coming to get her, but she's the one that saved him. Oh, the hand gesture, everything. I love that. All of that. It's so good. Ugh. And the concept of her reaching out to him. Shut up. Oh. Yeah, for once she kind of breaks down and goes past that like kind wall, and he reaches out to her and says, "Okay, now it's my turn to help you." Stop, y'all. Just stop. So good. Aww. Of course, he took part of it to mean like literally pay her back, and I'm like, dude, it can be emotional. It could be an emotional payback. It doesn't have to be monetarily, which he really has taken himself to mean. It's like, oh, dude. I'm really glad that we'll have more time with this opening. I'm assuming we're gonna have two cores, so two openings, just like with season 1. I really like this opening, though. I think there's not been a bad opening or a bad ED. They've both been really good, or all three of them have been good. But the way this one builds to the chorus, it just, and the visuals being so like vibrant and colorful, and they're kind of like evolving along with Rei. I definitely enjoy it, I think, the most out of all of them so far. It's like the tune is lively, but there is a kind of melancholy to it. I love it. Oh. Oh, it's a butterfly. Was that there before? Has that always been there? Did I just not notice it? I don't remember if I've called that out before. Small world. Does that mean like seeing people that you normally shouldn't? Or what does that mean? Cherries. Oh, don't eat cherries. Don't eat the cherries, cat. That could be pop. Aw. He brought you cherries. Aw. Aw. Hope they don't have pits. Aw. Can you tie the cherry stem in a knot with your tongue, Rei? Oh my god, the cats! I was like, you shouldn't eat the fruit, cats. It might make you sick. Oh, get the stem out of your mouth, girl. Aw. Hmm. Oh. Ooh. Oh! Will you go easy on me? Oh! Take it upstairs, kids. Oh. Yeah, the bath changing room is the living room. Oh my gosh, her room is so girly. Uh, improve your technique? Is this your ulterior motive? Oh. She's like, that seems like you're gonna have an advantage over me, but sure. 5 minutes later. Oh no! Oh no! Is he so bad at it that... Uh-huh. Like they're enjoying themselves. Oh no, and Rei's not good at doing that. And he amuses and teaches players. Rei's not a good teacher because he's so good. And Rei's not a good communicator. Oh no! Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't give her the wrong idea. Don't give her the wrong idea. Aww. Oh no! His blushy face. Oh, Rei. Ooh. Uh-huh. Despite what she's been feeling inside. Oh. Ooh. While they're playing shogi. Yes. Let her talk to him after school. It's almost like a therapy session, kind of. Oh, I love it. Mm. Oh. Oh, I hate that for her. Mm. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Of course. And that would make you feel so bad. Yeah, of course. They're the mean girls. They probably wear pink on Wednesdays. Yeah. That sucks. Oh, I hate that for her. Oh. And then it's all like underwater and drowning. Yes, exactly. But it reminds you of Rei and his experience too, of being underwater and submerged where you can't breathe. Oh, but there is. Yeah. It's not something that just showed up. She's just noticing it when she's on the receiving end of it. Yeah. Ugh. When and how is that decided? Well, yeah, that's a hard. Uh-huh. That sucks. Yeah, no joke. No kidding, since we're all the same human beings. Oh, I hate it for her. Mm. Yeah. Aw, girl. Oh, yeah. Oh! Yay! Awesome. Oh. I love Oh. Oh my god. Oh, Rei, you sweetheart. You sweetheart. Shut up. Oh, now my heart's torn because I thought Takahashi was old news. Like he wasn't even going to be a factor in this. Shut up. Rei, you freaking saint. You saint. Oh. Oh. Oh god. Shut up. Shut up, Rei. Oh my god. I cannot. Rei always has his like bottle of green tea and water. Did he win or not? I guess he won? Oh. Why were we running? Where are we going to? Yay! 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 Don't jinx it! Don't jinx it! Okay. All the head turns. Okay. Well, that'd be nice. And he's just doing it to hit the target. Okay. I love that he keeps the charm. Do it for Hina. Aww. Nikaido would be so proud of you. Nikaido would be so proud of you. Now, are all these bitches gonna be jealous because she has the really cute baseball player playing with her? Yep. Yep. That didn't help. Damn it. Of course they'd be jealous. Middle schoolers are such bitches. Yeah, no. That sucks, girl. Uh, Tell him. Yeah, I want him to tell those bitches off. Oh. Ah. Tell her off. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Our poor boy. He just doesn't care who he plays with. Nice. Love it. Oh, good. That just leaves her. Oh, what a bunch of winches. Oh. Did she help him get it back all back up? Mm-hmm. Oh. Don't make me cry, show. Don't you do it. Right. That'll scare those other girls off. Oh. Yes. Oh, I love it. Good. Good. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, but they probably won't bother her anymore. Like that. Yeah. Good. Yes. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, and he gives her like the magical girl tissues. Oh, and him whispering it, shut up. Oh. 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 Damn. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah. Oh. 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 Oh, damn. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. So what do we do? Wow. Like everything's so empty, but there's so much noise. Oh. How did the teacher not do anything? Oh. Hmm. Wow. Oh. Hmm. Wow. Hmm. Now what are you going to do, teacher? Wow. What are you going to do? So what's going to happen with that? Oh. Oh. Yes. Seething. Oh, I love it. Girl. Girl, get that shogi piece going. Oh my God. Oh. Justice for Hina. Justice for Hina. Damn. I hope that she gets to a point where she's just like, fuck it. and gets to where their antics don't bother her anymore. Like, oh, that's so hard. That makes you want to cry, damn it. It really does. Damn. Ugh. Just like gets you in the freaking heart right there. Ugh, damn it. You're not gonna make me cry, show. I've already saw my eyes out in 26. You're not gonna make me do it in this one either. I was like, teacher, you really gonna not do anything? Not gonna have a lecture to the kids? Not gonna tell the kids anything, you know? Damn. Damn. Right in the gut. Well, damn. This series is bound and determined to make me want to cry every episode. And I'm like, stop, series. Please stop. Oh my God. Ah. Oh. Just. I really don't mind. I wonder if I'm very curious in the comments when we get to this portion, because I have a feeling this is going to be a thread through the first half of season 2 is mainly about Rei and Hina's relationship, right? Because what I appreciate about it, before I get into this part of the discussion, is I appreciate that the series it's frustratingly so, but taking a very realistic approach that shit like this is not a one and done episode. Well, we conquered bullying and now the day is saved and you can go on with the rest of your junior high career with no problems. No, it doesn't treat it like that at all. It treats it like it's very real. And the reality is that this is not something that is instantly solved. It's not. It really isn't. And I like the fact that this series, I don't mind that it seems like it's going to take up the first half of season 2, because it's a really subtle but yet realistic and smart narrative way to have Rei grow as a character, and to also have Hina grow as a character and have them grow closer together. And now we've implemented shogi into it, and we're getting into a lot of like ways that Rei is trying to help her, but in trying to help her, he's also helping himself. And it's really, really engaging. It's just, damn, it hits you like, it just like, it's like an arrow piercing your heart, because I know like firsthand a lot of the stuff Hina's going through, and I've seen it happen to others too. And I'm sure that we as the audience have either, if you've not experienced a moment of bullying, or you've never seen someone bullied or experienced it yourself, then one of two things. One, you're really lucky and you should be counting your blessings. Or two, you're the bully. Like, those are really your two options. If you've never witnessed bullying or been the other end of it, then you are either the bully or you've gotten real, real lucky to not have experienced it, because it's crazy, right? It is. And I would say I've been kind of all three in there. When I was, in kindergarten or first grade, I did get bullied a bit. And then from like second to fourth grade, I was very much a bully. I was. And I'm going to admit, I was a little shit from second to fourth grade. I was a mean little kid because I had a lot of anger from being bullied that I projected onto others. And then around fifth grade was kind of like, I was trying to like good grades. And from like fifth grade through high school, I was very much a teacher's pet, wanted to get good grades all the time. So around fifth grade, I really wanted to get good grades and I had an English teacher, ironically enough, that encouraged me to want to be a teacher myself. She's since passed away, sadly, but she was kind of the influence that kind of turned me around. She was very old school. She was not like the teacher in the classroom here that just kind of like dry erased the board and was like, oh, let's not talk about it. No, Miss Hill, her name, she was a short little woman that was very old school, and she was like, no, we're not doing this. And she was very proper, and she was very on point, and she kind of turned me around from being kind of like a little bit of a delinquent to being kind of a teacher's pet, which is a weird transition. But in that transition, it kind of leaves you exposed that since you're not the one inflicting it anymore, it makes you kind of open to receive it again. And I did up until probably throughout junior high. And then once I got into high school, I kind of was over it and just focused on my like 3 or 4 really good friends. And we just kind of kept to ourselves. And I didn't really care at that point. And I just focused on my grades and hanging out with them. And it kind of let off at them, because by the time you get into high school, I feel like you all are either worried about other things or the drama. You're not in that like middle school hormonal transitional phase anymore. So it kind of separates out. But yeah, so I kind of know where Hina's coming from a lot of this, and it sucks. It's so hard. And we'll talk about it in this episode, but I want to go ahead and talk about the end card before we do. This is really cute. I like the Kaminato sisters there. Kozui Amano is the artist for it. And she has a lot of like shoujo-esque series. Her art style is beautiful. I love her illustration style. It's unique. It's neat. It's very polished, which I like about it. But she has a series called Aria. That's probably the most noteworthy work that she has. But I really like this line work. It's clean. And I like that about it. But it's really, really pretty. I like how she draws Hina's braids. They're very, very detailed. I love it. Cute. Also, it really makes Momo stand out as looking not like the other two sisters at all. Again, we're not talking about the dad. We don't mention the dad. We don't even talk about him. He's not to be mentioned in this story. We've got enough to deal with without having to worry about that. So we start out with Rei bringing over cherries, which I'm like, cats, don't be eating the cherries. I feel like if you eat too many cherries, it can make you sick. I don't know if that's true or not. I personally have felt that. I love cherries. Cherries are so delicious. Maraschino cherries are really sweet, but I like black cherries. I like cherries just as a snack as a whole. But it's so fascinating to me that Rei decides to teach Hina to play shogi. That's the thing he wants to teach her. And I get why he does. It's just such an evolution from Rei at the beginning of this series, who is like, I'm not playing shogi except because I have to for rent and for this and A, B, and C. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And now you kind of see that, from Rei playing with Nikaido, from Rei playing with Shimada, and from Rei playing with the others, for Rei himself, he's like, shogi kind of became an outlet where if I wasn't welcomed at the table in my school, if I wasn't welcome at the table in front of my peers, I could go to the shogi hall and I was welcomed. And I found my tribe, I found my people there. And that helped me to survive and get through. And I feel like he's trying to give Hina this opportunity to have a place of refuge for herself, being like, hey, this helped me, and it allows me to, one, channel my anger into something, the shogi game, to be able to talk it out with people that are in the same vicinity as me and we're here for the same reasons. And it just kind of, not necessarily that I don't think Rei is letting her use it as a therapy session, but it's a way for her to communicate, and it's in this space where it feels safe. It's like a safe space to do that. And I think that's so impressive. And plus, Rei gets more practice from it. The funny thing is that Rei, he narrows it down to 3 pieces and 2 pieces. And then he has like the one guy that faced Nikaido in the human shogi game that lost to him. He's trying to tell Rei, he's like, well, here's how you are a good opponent. And here's how you're a good teacher. And then I do like that he brings up the chairman, because we've talked about the chairman in the past. And yeah, the chairman has this big enigmatic personality that's like so welcoming and inviting and social. He makes it seem like anybody can play shogi, right? It reminds me a little bit of the character Kuro in Haikyuu. Haikyuu manga spoilers. If you don't want to know the ending of Haikyuu and the manga, don't scroll past this part here. But basically at the end of Haikyuu in the manga, Kuro's character, he's a player on Nekoma's team. He has the big black spiky hair. He ends up as an adult becoming a representative of of Japan's volleyball association. And so his whole goal is he's kind of like the chairman. His basic goal is to encourage people to support volleyball and enjoy it. So he's like the chairman position in the world of volleyball in Haikyuu. So end of Haikyuu spoilers, but it's kind of the same thing with the chairman. The goal is to like get people motivated and like support the sport. Well, if you make it to where it's this archaic druid system that no one understands, you can't get the support from the common folk, or you can't get new people invested in the game. And so he's kind of a perfect teacher for it, right? I love it. So we go up to Hina's room, which is super cute. I love the purples and greens. Purple and green are my favorite colors, so I love that. And just the 2 of them playing shogi. And she's like, is that all you need? And he's like, yep, I'm perfectly fine. She's like, all right, I can win. The funny thing is that he goes first, and she's like, why am I not going first? And he's like, oh, well, I'm disadvantaged. And she's like, you're a professional shogi player. like, let me go first. But Rei is so used to convention and rules that he's just like, oh, well, this is how it's done naturally. And then he ends up beating her, right? In 5 minutes. And he's like, no, one more time, let's play. Meanwhile, Akari and Momo are singing about the pineapple strange magical fruit while having a bath together, which is hilarious. And then Rei's like, I'm sucking at teaching this game to her. I'm sucking at making it fun. And the teacher's like, what are you doing? And then I love the one guy. He's like, back off and then strike. He's like, oh, Yokomizo. I always forget Yokomizo's names. He's like, take your time. He's like, stare at your opponent and get close to knowing their feelings. Yokomizo does not realize that he is encouraging the ship of Rei and Hina. Because he's like, oh, just get to know her more personally and stare deep and longingly into her eyes. I'm like, Yokomizo, if only you knew what you were suggesting. I absolutely love it. And Rei's just like, yes. But he's like, look at your opponent closely. And then I love that Hina's just staring back at him. And she's like, oh, I'm starting to get the hang of it, so it should be okay for me to do the next one. And Rei's like, damn it, now she's consoling me. She feels bad for me. I love them together. They both are so passionate, and they both are so emotional, but at the same time, it's in different ways. And they kind of, I guess I love Rei and Hina as a ship so much because they balance each other out really nicely. They have a lot in common, but the way that they project their emotions and the way that they communicate, it's different but complementary to each other. And I know that right now dating is off the marks, but I'm like, when y'all get out of high school, you should definitely get on that. He's like, she's so considerate of other people's feelings. And the thing that sucks so much is that Hina's just a nice person, and she's so nice, and there's nothing wrong with her. She gets emotional and fiery, but she is not conceited. There's not a conceited bone in that girl's body, and it just sucks that those other students, they either bully her or they are complacent in the bullying and they don't want to stand up and speak out for her because they're afraid they'll get bullied as well. I'm like, if you all just ganged up against the bullies together, then you wouldn't have a problem. Then they'd stop. But that's not how reality works, unfortunately. So she talks about what's happening at school, which sucks. And again, the thing about it is you think that things would have been solved once Chiho left, but that's not what's happening. Instead, the three bitchy girls, the mean girls of the school, they're over here doing whatever they want with no repercussions. And meanwhile, Hina is just kind of getting the shaft because no one wants to associate with her. And it sucks. And yeah, it's so interesting where she's like, your ranking in class decides how loud you can laugh or how much freedom you're allowed in the classroom. Honestly, that was the one good thing that I felt like growing up at a small school, because I only had about 23 in my graduating class. That was the one nice thing. Like, we did have a bunch of mean girls. We did. But our class was so small, we'd all grown up together. So since we'd all grown up together, by the time you got to high school, you kind of knew how to deal with them. And you kind of knew if you had your friend circle of 2 or 3 friends, you're like, well, that's a fourth of the class. So there wasn't really a hierarchy necessarily. It was just like there were the athletic students that were the athletes, like the cheerleaders, the basketball players, the baseball players. We didn't have a lot of sports at our school because, again, we were very rural, very tiny. So you had the athletes, and they all kind of congregated together because that was, they had that in common. And then you had the ag kids, the agriculture kids, who were like the farm kids. And that's, that was kind of the group that I fell in partially because my family farmed. Then you had like the grunge Nirvana, like misfit punks that just didn't give a shit, and the stoners. And that was kind of that group. And those are basically your groups. That was it. You had your jocks, your ag kids, and your stoner goth grunge kids. Those were your groups you fell into. And some people overlapped, but for the most part, that was it. So you kind of, because there was only like 3 groups of people, there wasn't really a lot of ostracization happening once you got into high school. Now, junior high was just a hormonal mess. Same with like 5th and 6th grade, but once you get into high school, it wasn't as bad. But I feel for Hina. I'm very curious to know if she gets out of middle school, if she will change high schools if she gets out of middle school, or if she'll go to a different high school than those other girls and start fresh. I wouldn't blame her if she did, because that would be, I wouldn't blame her if she did. But I like how the environment that she's in throughout this episode, it mirrors the drowning sensation that Rei's had from season 1. The idea of being submerged underwater, feeling like you can't breathe, like you don't have any power in this situation. And she's just like, what is this? Like, who decides who gets to be popular and who doesn't? We're all human beings. And that's such a good question. I feel like it depends on where you're from, what determines that. But my school, it wasn't really the loudest people that were the popular ones like it is for her school. I feel like in a rural area, money plays a big role. So like the people whose families had money, they often got special privileges if their parents were well off. Or students that were pretty or attractive by stereotypical standards, they got off a lot of times because they were pretty, and who wants to like bully the pretty person? So it wasn't that was mainly it. I'm happy to say that from my class and younger, there weren't bitchy people like this. Now, a few grades older than me, I didn't associate with them, but there were some that were like these girls. But luckily, my class and the classes below mine, who I hung out with mainly, didn't have that nonsense. Because we knew better, right? And because we had teachers that would call that bullshit out and be like, shut the F up, what are you doing? And would call you out on it. And so, again, I'm very disappointed in the one teacher because she just doesn't do a damn thing. She let them write that on the board and that was it. So then Takahashi comes and gets her. And Rei, you sweetheart. You absolute sweetheart. Even when he finds out that the girls were jealous because she hung out with Takahashi, he's like, oh shit, of course they're jealous of him. He's hot. I was like, Rei! At first, when Takahashi was playing with her, I was having conflicting thoughts being like, well, do I ship Takahashi and Hina now more? Or do I still ship her and Rei? And by the end of this episode, I'm like, no, I still ship her and Rei. I feel like Takahashi is a friend. Takahashi, the action he does here is him acting as a friend. He's like, hey, Rei told me that they were being stupid to you. That's dumb. I liked that Chiho girl. I don't think they should have treated you this way. So I'll play catch. Takahashi's like, I'll be like what Rei's doing too. I'll offer you a safe space. And you know what? It sucks so much that those girls just couldn't leave her well enough alone. She had a safe space. She could go out and play catch with Takahashi. She wasn't bothering anybody, but because he's good looking and they were jealous, they said those things. And the worst part is that after he plays catch, and Takahashi's pretty simple. I think after this episode, I could see Hina with Rei because Takahashi's really simple and he's just like, I'm just, wanting to connect with Rei again. And having her play catch and his pitch be crazy, that's just so funny. He's like, I really want to hang out with Rei some more, so if you could let him know. I'm like, shit. Takahashi's so simple, but I like him. So then Rei, we'll cut back to the girls in the classroom, but I like Rei is excited because he had 4 wins in a row. He's going to be in the Kishoin prelims. And he's like, things are looking up, which don't jinx this, Rei. Don't be like that. But he's like, I've got 2 consecutive wins for my rank deciding matches. He's like, I've got the Lion King tournament going on. I'm in the running for it, which is the one that Shimada and Soya were just in, which is insane, and the newcomer tournament. And he's like, if I can win in a group 5 and participate in the challenger tournament, then I'm going to get my money and I'll meet my goals. I like that Rei's just got this all together. And then he looks at his bag and he has the little cat toy, the little charm that Hina gave him. Freaking love it. I love that he has that charm. That's so cute. He's like, I need to practice. I'm not going to lose. I'll become the newcomer king. What's so great, 2 things about this. One, this place, like as he's yelling, I'll become the newcomer king. It's such a parallel to back in season 1 when he was at the bottom of the barrel and he was screaming in anger because things weren't going right. And he was just screaming at the world. I feel like that's kind of where Hina is now. Hina's at that screaming at the world part. And Rei was there too. But Rei found in helping her, found this newfound vigor to give him purpose. And here he is now. So maybe Hina just needs to find that purpose the same as Rei did. But easier said than done, right? But also, too, I like the fact that he's got this spirit to him. And he's like, yeah, I can do this. And he's not just, he doesn't seem as desperate. If Nikaido could hear him screaming out to the world, oh, he'd have been elated, right? So then, yeah. Stop flirting around. I hate that they bully her and nobody speaks up. I hate it that nobody is being her friend and nobody wants to help her. And when she talked about having a stomach ache, I've had that too. If you feel so uncomfortable after an encounter or a bad experience or you just have a shitty day, you just don't want to eat anymore. And then Takahashi is like, well, what's going on? And that one girl called her a bitch. So then he goes up to them. He's like, why don't you play catch too? And at first I was like, Takahashi. I was like, I would have told them off, but no. But that wasn't going to make things better. So that wouldn't have worked. So instead what he tries to do is, get these 3 girls involved with Hina and him. And I thought a couple things could happen. One, I thought, well, maybe when they get involved, they'll all work together and talk things out. No. That's not what happens at all. And then second, I was like, well, maybe they'll like all come to some mutual understanding. No, they get scared because of how he throws and they immediately run off. So I thought, okay, well, now they're going to think that Takahashi's a weirdo and they're just going to leave the two of them alone. Nope. That's not what happens either. But before we get to that, Takahashi, he realizes, he lets Hina know that he knew Chiho as well. And of course, Rei's like, oh no, now they're envious. And she's like, oh no. She's like, no, Takahashi remembers Chiho. And Rei's like, oh, this is so terrible. What have I done? Oh, everything's going wrong. And I like that Hina says that Takahashi's someone she can talk to now because they both know about Chiho. And she's like, everybody else has just forgot Chiho existed. It's like they eradicated her and then we never spoke of her again. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do to Hina. They're trying to edge her away, make her leave so they can have their little pod. And I'm like, my thing is, I don't know why the friends, the other classmates, don't put two and two together that these bullies aren't going to stop once Hina's gone. They're going to find a new person to bully. So one of y'all's going to be it. Why you don't stand up to her, I don't know. But that's not what ends up happening. And then I love the idea of Rei just handing her the tissues from like the Sailor Moon box. It's really, really cute. But then she's like, Rei, you're always listening to me. And you ask what I want to do. And she's like, I don't know. She's like, it's frustrating because I don't know what to do. And of course the girls, just leave the bucket with the water running. She's like, I want to beat the crap out of them. I want to punch them. And it says Sakura. So, okay, so the shoes there said Sakura. They're not Hina's shoes, but they put some girl's shoes in water with the bucket, and they were bullying another girl and getting away with it. And Hina's like, that's not fair that they get away with it. And she's like, I sent Chiho a letter. I didn't get a response. And it says Chiho hasn't got back to school. Right now she's in rehab with the counselor at a place called the Heart Care Center. Chiho would like to write you, but... And that's the sad thing, is that she didn't even go back to school once she moved. It's like that was the worst part of it, was not the fact that she, you think, oh, Chiho's going to go away to another school and start over again and be able to be fine, but she didn't even get to that point. She was so distraught by the bullying that occurred there that she went into rehab, and she hasn't even been able to start back at a new school yet. And that was just like an arrow to the heart. It was so rough. And she's like, and Hina's like, what good is it to want to do harm to these bullies? Because it's not gonna get retribution for Chiho. Chiho's never gonna see them again. And she's like, so what's the point? But then what do I do about myself? If there's no point to it, then what happens? And I love that sequence where it just shows the empty school, everything, like all the loud noise of school, everything's empty, and then it cuts to that damn dry erase board that says, Hinata Kawamoto loves guys, perverted girl, bitch, idiot. Those girls really need to up their game if that's all they got. I mean, oh no, Hina likes guys. The scandal. It's like, But it's just the fact that they wrote that on there and got away with it. And they did it just to get under Hina's skin. And at that point, I love Hina just sitting down and being like, fuck it. Being like, she's like, I'm not going to let them see that it bothers me. And so she just tells it like it is. And I love when the teacher comes in and sees the message on the board as Rei's going to the match. And everyone there looks ashamed. She's like, I don't know. It was there when I got here. And everyone just looks absolutely ashamed at what they've done. It was written on the board when I came in. And yeah, everybody looks sad about it. Like, shit. Calling them all out. I wanted to see what the woman said to her after class. I wanted to see what the teacher was going to say to her. So I hope we get that. But that's what I wanted to see, was what was the teacher going to tell her after class? Like, is the teacher going to, like, kind of apologize for being wrong or what? I was like, what are you gonna do? I don't even know, y'all. I don't even know. But yeah. Ugh. Anyway, as Rei starts his match, he's like, and they're like, let's have a good game. He's like, that's right. She's not only in pain, she's angry, seething from the pit of her stomach. And the sad part is, as like the shogi pieces move, the sad part is you just see how dead her eyes are. And I'm like, Hina's such a sweetheart. And they're just, it's like all that innocence that she has just crushed. And she's faced with like the harshness of reality. What I was going to say was, I kept thinking whenever Rei was under the bridge and was being like, everything's going so well, I thought Kyoko was going to show up. But honestly, I feel like Kyoko is the last person that needs to be here right now. She is the last person that needs to be part of this because I feel like she would contribute in negative ways to that. So it's going to be so hard to wait for episode 29. It's going to be so hard to wait. I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to make it. I'm not going to guarantee. Hopefully though, I feel like I will be able to get at least to the comments for next week before I get through that. So there's that anyway. But man, just stabs you in the chest is what it does. And there is no good solution. There is no, the thing about it is there is no, like Hayashida said last episode, there really is not a try and true solution. That's the worst part of it. You can do certain things and maybe they'll make a difference, but it's not guaranteed. But I don't want Hina to run away. When Hina stood her ground at the end and just told it like it was and was like, this is it. I don't want Hina to run away. I don't want her to. The sad thing is she's kind of lost this innocence that she had, which is the worst part about it. That when you do good for others, oftentimes it puts you in that position. But I don't want Hina to run away. I want her to stand her ground and be like, guess what, bitches, I ain't going anywhere. And, anyway, I'm excited for episode 29, but I'm also excited for your comments down below. But I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back real soon with more of March Comes In Like a Lion. Bye!